Today, we are unpacking a dossier that is honestly mind-bending. We're talking about claims so massive that if they actually turn out to be true, they would completely rewrite everything we know about human history. We're going to objectively map out this whole concept, what the source calls the Verdant Relics, Antarctica's pre-glacial urban complex. Now, as someone who absolutely loves digging into these complex, boundary-pushing narratives, I gotta tell you, this material is just fascinating. Just to be clear, right up front, we aren't here to prove or disprove anything today. We're just here to piece together exactly what this incredibly wild text is asserting. It's a roller coaster of ancient mysteries, highly classified military ops, and some seriously advanced technological concepts. So let's just jump right in and start unpacking this thing.
Before I die, I must tell the truth. I mean, wow, that is the explosive, high-stakes headline pulled right from the very first page of our source material. And it instantly sets up this massive mystery box 5 for everything we're about to cover. The dossier doesn't just present this as some dry academic theory. It frames the whole thing as a desperate deathbed confession. It claims to be the final testimony from the absolute last surviving member of Operation High Jump, which, was a very real military mission, allegedly exposing a hidden city buried deep beneath the Antarctic ice. The phrasing here is literally designed to grab you by the collar. It implies this incredibly heavy burden of secret knowledge, right? A truth that's been suppressed for decades and is only just now bubbling up to the surface. It is the perfect hook for the wild claims that come next.
So to even entertain this dossier, you have to accept a massive paradigm shift. It essentially asks us to take our modern understanding of Antarctica, this freezing, inhospitable, totally barren wasteland, and completely scrap it for a radically different ancient reality. The source describes a lush, green continent that was home to a sprawling, super-sophisticated urban complex. It forces you to mentally separate the physical landmass at the bottom of the globe from the giant ice cube we associate it with today. We're being asked to picture a thriving, vibrant environment that was just teeming with life and deliberate, massive construction.
12,000. The source places this thriving urban complex roughly 12,000 years ago, hitting right around the very end of the last ice age. Think about that timeline for a second. That number completely blows up our standard historical anchoring. It pushes the existence of a highly advanced society so much further back into the past than any mainstream historical timeline would ever allow. I mean, we're talking about a level of sophisticated development that's practically double the age of our oldest widely accepted historical touchstone.
Okay, so you're probably wondering, who exactly is making these monumental claims? Well, the dossier actually lays out a very specific chain of whistleblowers, almost like you're looking at a true crime evidence board. It kicks off with the testimony of Admiral Richard E. Byrd, the famous American naval officer who actually led Operation High Jump down to Antarctica in the 1940s. The narrative uses his real historical presence down there as the baseline. Then it introduces this unnamed NORAD officer, someone allegedly positioned super deep inside the aerospace defense establishment. And finally, the text claims this NORAD officer took his incredibly detailed account straight to investigative journalist Linda Moulton Howe. So the whole narrative relies heavily on this specific three-step lineage to give some weight to the unbelievable things they say they found.
And what exactly did this chain of military insiders supposedly stumble upon? The absolute core of the discovery is engineered architecture that predates the last ice age. We need to be clear here. The material isn't talking about weird geological formations or strange patterns in the ice that just kind of look artificial if you squint. No, it explicitly claims they found deliberate, purposefully constructed monuments. If we follow the internal logic of these accounts, finding structures like this means an advanced intelligence was out there building monumental works way earlier than anyone conventionally accepts.
Which brings us to what is easily the dossier's most fascinating, completely mind-bending technological concept. They call it grown architecture. The source describes these advanced pre-glacial structures as being designed to literally mimic living systems. We are talking about buildings that function organically. Just pause and think about the implications of that for a second. It suggests building materials that can self-repair if they get damaged, materials that adapt to environmental changes on the fly, or even grow the way a biological organism does. It's an absolutely incredible concept, taking us way beyond just stacking stones or pouring concrete, into something that completely blurs the line between biology and engineering.
Let's quickly synthesize the core attributes of this alleged urban complex because it's a lot to take in. Number 1, it predates the last ice age. Number 2, it flourished on a verdant, totally green continent. Number 3, it features that crazy organic grown architecture. And number 4, this is the big one, it contains active functional technology.
We aren't just talking about dusty, empty ruins here. The claims assert that there are working technological components still humming away down there. As an objective explainer of this material, I'm literally just laying out these 4 pillars for you. But there is absolutely no denying that this is a breathtaking list of claims that totally upends conventional science and history.
And tracing this timeline is how we connect that deep, ancient past straight to our lives today. From a thriving green continent around 10,000 BCE right up to Admiral Byrd's supposed 1940s discovery during Operation High Jump, the narrative points a giant neon arrow directly at the present day. It boldly asserts that all this functional technology they pulled from the ruins isn't just gathering dust in some government warehouse somewhere. The claim is that it's actively being analyzed and reverse-engineered right now, today, inside highly classified modern labs. So suddenly, this shifts from being a cool historical curiosity into an ongoing, highly secretive modern-day operation.
So, that leaves us staring down one incredibly provocative question. If these pre-glacial relics truly mimic living systems the way the text claims, and if classified labs are actively reverse engineering them right at this very second, what might that actually unlock for our future? I mean, are we on the verge of some massive leap forward in biotechnology? Could this stuff lead to revolutionary, unlimited new energy sources, or entirely new organic ways of building our own cities? The dossier basically walks us right up to the edge of this massive hypothetical and leaves us there. It forces us to ask what it would mean for society tomorrow if the keys to our greatest technological leaps have actually just been buried under miles of ancient Antarctic ice this entire time. It is, for sure, a whole lot to chew on. I really hope this structured look at the dossier has helped you grasp the sheer wild scope of these claims. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.